Well, South Africa will not go to the World Economic Forum and lie to the international community about our country's challenges. That's according to the Finance Minister, Enoch Godongwana. South Africa is heading to the global meeting as it's now grappling, of course, with this power crisis, high unemployment and subdued economic growth. Now, despite all of this, the Finance Minister says the government does have an action plan to deal with the issues, and they'll be communicating that, he says, to world leaders and potential investors. Godongwana will form part of the delegation accompanying the president later this month. The meeting will be taking place in Davos in Switzerland. Heidi Giokos had a chance to speak to the minister.
The first thing we must admit up front, we are not going to lie to the international community and say we do not have challenges such as electricity, which we do. The question, what action plans do we have in place? We'll be able to say there are a lot of action plans we're trying to achieve to deal with things. For instance, with Eskom, the first thing we want to achieve is operational efficiency so that the plants of Eskom must work properly. Secondly, DMR has got to move with new capacity and to increase the capacity in the country. And thirdly, we've got to deal with the crime issue which is affecting Eskom. All of those things, we've got specialized task team dealing with all those three issues.
Would you say, though, that there might be some criticism around the slow pace of dealing with the challenges that Eskom is facing? Currently, the country's in stage 6. Yeah. There are 11 generators that are not working, and it just seems as though the problem is getting worse.
Yes. No. That's why we have moved in and said, first and foremost, for instance, we put up some special forces to look at the criminal situation associated with that. We've got to look at the operational efficiency issues. We understand those challenges. It's just why we say we've got to move with speed. We agree with the public. We're not happy with the performance of Eskom. We can't understand why 11 generations cannot work at the same time. It's inexplicable.
Let's stick to the issue of Eskom, because that directly impacts employment and economic growth. Because how do you run an economy and create jobs when half of the day doesn't have power? How are you going to sell that to the World Economic Forum?
We're not going to sell a story. The story we're going to sell is that we understand we've got that challenge. And it's a well-known challenge. Some economists said it's contributed to 40% of our underperformance. For that reason, we have these action plans which we will outline to turn this thing around. We hope over the 18 months we'll be able to have a security of supply.
And then just lastly, Minister, let's speak about the grey listing. I know you mentioned the fact that you have over 50 government officials trying to discuss in Morocco how South Africa should not be grey listed. This would be detrimental if it does happen, but are you confident that it won't happen and that your members there are giving the necessary measures that things are being sorted out?
I can't talk about being confident. I can say I'm hopeful. We have developed a number of things. First and foremost, on the regulatory framework, we've completed all the various pieces of legislation which will make sure that South Africa complies. That we can tick the box. The next thing that we need to do is on the action plans. Are we capable to deal with the 40 action plans FATF has raised? And I think our team is making that presentation that we, in fact, are dealing with those issues. Of course, we can't deal with them on a single day. The international community will understand that we've got a roadmap to deal with those action plans.